understood. That I understood.
He even went so far as to cross his arms.
Yeah. He off his
See that?
arm.
He crossed it like a small boy. He crossed his arms and said, "We're not going to talk about this."
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, but wait a second. Where is she going to that venue with that outfit on? It was like going to McDonald's when you're supposed to be going to the opera. I mean,
I'm going to venture to say that we're not going to understand one outfit Bronwyn wears this season.
No.
She had on
I'm
a
going to go
lovely
out on a limb
outfit.
and just say it.
When she went to visit Mary, she had on a lovely outfit. She looked lovely. But I thought to myself, where are you going with this lavender gown, with this big feather thing, and you're going to like this restaurant?
You're going to like
sit
a pub.
outside.
You got fish and chips.
Odd. It was odd.
She had pizza and she was eating it with a fork. And Bill even commented on that.
I noticed that.
Bill's like, because Bill was still there, he's like, she's eating pizza with a fork and knife. What is that?
Not from New Jersey or New York, people.
No. I was like, I don't know. I just don't know.
I didn't catch him being so short with her talking about Brittany. I didn't catch that.
He was like condescending. He's like,
still condescending.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's the one that had 2 dates, and she's like, yeah, I'm not going to invite him. Well, then you'd have to invite 2 others. Well, maybe they had a threesome on the way home. Like he just kept making digs.
Okay, I did catch that.
He just kept making digs, and I was like, this is not appropriate. It's not appropriate coming from him. And then she put out on social media a screenshot of her text messages with him,
with her husband.
Which I don't get either.
With her husband.
Who does that?
You commented on it, Lori, right? Because you commented. Yeah. I saw it because Wine Whenever commented on it on someone else's post, and Lori, I didn't know who of us did it, so now it was Lori.
Yeah, me.
And you commented like, who does that? Puts out screenshots of your private text messages with your husband. I was wondering that, and someone underneath wrote, "Well, you're the only one that was wondering that." I'm like, no, there was other people wondering that.
It didn't say it.
Right. It was the text message that she sent to him the night of the party. You know, Brittany's here. Oh, Jared's here. Oh, some other guy showed up. It was just her texting him what was going on, a play-by-play the night of the party.
Okay. So it wasn't anything like
but I'm sure
a heavy exchange between them.
No, but I'm sure he could really give a fuck what's going on at the party.
Yeah, exactly. What does he care?
What does he care?
He doesn't seem like he wants to be on the show.
No.
Maybe that's why he was so short in that
whatever,
scene.
But
you're here.
Yeah.
Hey, how about in the confessional when Lisa is bitching about Whitney and she said, well, if I want to say something, I would go to the Post, to the New York Times. I would go on Good Morning America. Yeah, okay. Like they're really having it.
Right. Good Morning America.
Funny.
Right.
Yeah. She did say that. Yeah, no,
That's
I don't really like Todd. I don't like the way he talks to Bronwyn. I don't like the way he talks about the interactions of the other ladies. I don't think he should be commenting on it. I thought it was like I said, he wasn't warm and fuzzy. I didn't get a good feeling about him, and I don't like that. Then we see Lisa and her younger sister Denise. They go out and they're talking about Henry. And
that was hard to listen to.
It was hard.
It was heartbreaking how Lisa was saying that, now that Jack is not there, he's kind of lonely. He always looked up to Jack, and Jack's friends were always around, and they kind of pumped him up and made him feel better. Like he was one of the guys. And then Henry was having a birthday party, and he sent out last minute invites, and all the kids went to the other party instead. What I wasn't sure about was, she said as she was driving him, was she driving him to the other kid's party, or she was driving him to his own party?
I think she was driving him to his own party. It was probably at a venue.
And nobody was going, and he was upset and didn't even want to go.
I guess maybe a couple of kids went, but not a lot, maybe.
Yeah.
And hopefully if he went, somebody showed up.
But why are you sending invites the last minute when you know someone else is having a party?
Well, I feel like because she said, was it my fault? Like she felt guilty. So I think
they were away somewhere.
Yeah, I think she was probably the reason they were sent last minute.
Oh, I didn't
listen. We have enough to feel guilty about as moms. You do something like that, you're definitely going to feel guilty.
No, I knew she felt guilty, and she's like, I felt bad about Henry. She felt like she failed him. I didn't know it was about the invitations.
That's how I took it.
All right, well then you could have scheduled it another weekend. I don't know. And then she said, it was hard to hear her friends call her a bad mom. I did feel for her in that moment because, we know it's hard being a mom, and,
And you always feel like you fuck everything up. So
100%. We're always wrong. We're always wrong.
Yeah, when somebody makes a jab at you,
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Listen, we take the brunt of all the blame. We always feel like we're not doing the right thing. So for somebody else to call out your mothering skills is really shitty.
No, I totally agree.
Especially with these housewives, because we all have flaws and we all have insecurities, especially about being a mom. So
yeah, and
it's a shitty thing to do.
They're both equally guilty because Lisa should have never brought up Electra,
Right?
And Angie should have never said that about her son.
I agree.
No.
So
I agree. The next thing we see is Angie, Whitney, and Bronwyn. They all meet up for a walk. Once again, Bronwyn is wearing her jacket. We'll just call it that. Move on.
Sleeping bag.
Whitney starts off with she's pissed off. She thinks Lisa and John owe her and Justin a major apology.
No, I don't think so.
That's what, Angie says. Do you really think that they're going to see it that way? She said she was just going up to Lisa to clarify a few things.
No, she wasn't.
No, she wasn't. No, she was not. And then Bronwyn invites them to this thermal outside of Palm Springs race that she's going to have this 10th anniversary party. I don't know what this race is. Is it like a Grand Prix? Some kind of race that she met him at, or she spent their first year. Yeah.
And it might be, if it's like a big thing, it might be something like you watch Jersey Shore, right? And they couldn't say Super Bowl. They had to keep calling it the big game. So maybe it's something like that. If it is a big event.
Right. Like
maybe
F1.
They can't say what it is. Yeah.
Imagine if it was F1.
Right. Something
I guess
like
we'll
that.
have to wait and see what it is. That could be.
I did like, though, when they were on their walk and Whitney was going on and on and on about Lisa, Bronwyn did say, like, I'm not 100% on board with all this. Like, I'm glad that she said that, because at least when Lisa watches it back, because something clearly happens next week between Bronwyn and Lisa, and they ask them to leave. But at least when Lisa watches this back, she can see in that moment Bronwyn had her back.
Yes, definitely. And the next thing we see is Brittany's having the church gathering in her house.
But wait a second.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know Angie had a nose job, and I didn't know Bronwyn had two.
Oh, yeah, we did find that out.
She can't wait to have another one.
Yeah,
right.
Crazy.
Right.
They don't look like it. Well, Bronwyn maybe a little bit, but Angie didn't.
No. But who wants to get their face cracked open? I mean, I get it if you do it one time.
Right.
But who wants to do that over and over again? That's kind of
yeah. The multiple is.
Yeah,
I guess if you want the perfect nose, you have to do what you have to do.
Stages.
I mean, this is the nose that God gave me, and this is the nose that I have.
Me too.
So
mine's getting bigger over the years, I think.
I think
I
your
never
nose.
realized until I was like.
I think your nose
and your ears.
Your ears. Yeah.
Well, I have very tiny ears, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Your nose keeps growing?
Yes.
Yeah, your nose.
This explains a lot.
And you know what doesn't grow is the same size as birth? Your eyeballs.
Your eyes.
Your eyeballs.
Yep.
You're born with the same size.
That's why babies are so damn cute.
Because they got big eyes.
By the way, real quick sidebar. Did you see the cutest little flight attendant ever on Halloween?
Yes, I did. Tiffany's daughter.
So cute.
So cute.
MG.
She was adorable.
Adorable.
Shout out to our neighbor Tiffany and the cutest little flight attendant ever.
Yes. Very
so cute.
She was dancing on my porch. Because I had this little pumpkin in the front, and it's like motion activated, and anytime you move in front of it, it plays Thriller. It plays Michael Jackson Thriller. So she was up there dancing. So cute. Yeah, it was cute. She was very cute. So what was next? Okay, Brittany and the party, the church gathering,
Fireside.
Fireside.
It was very interesting that Heather went to this and participated after writing a book called Bad Mormon.
Yeah, after her non-Mormonism.
Well,
and wait, how about this? So you're telling me that most Mormons are doing 2 of these a week plus going to church? Woo-wee.
I believe it.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
I believe it too. But you know what? I know Lori had said in the beginning that Brittany was not really Heather's friend, but I feel like Brittany is Heather's friend. Because Brittany did go to the laser lab. Brittany did invite Heather to this thing.
Maybe she's like a client at the laser lab, and maybe they knew each other back in the day when Heather was still in the Mormon church.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. And then Angie shows up with a bottle of wine, which honestly, listen, Angie, and they show all the clips of Brittany drinking. I know Mormons don't drink, but Brittany has drank wine many times. So I don't think
Brittany does. Brittany drinks, and it was at her house.
Right. I don't think it was inappropriate. I know that Heather said it was. I know Brittany said it was. I'm with Angie on that. It was not an inappropriate gift.
Heather said it was also?
Heather said it was. Yes. I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that.
I guess her Mormon friends don't know that she drinks. Maybe that was the problem.
Sorry.
It's okay, Lori. It's okay. It happens. It happens.
Hi, honey. I'm on my podcast. Can I call you back? Okay. She hung up. So that's real life. You want to know
That
what
is real life.
You want to know what a real housewife does?
That is real life.
When your
She
kids
gets
call, you
told.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Angie calls Heather out on being blindly loyal to Lisa. And I don't know if it's being blindly loyal or just kissing Lisa's ass, because I
Yeah.
think that's what Heather's doing.
Listen, Mary called out Heather on it too. She said, listen, you've been friends with Angie for how long? And Angie lets us know since she was 15 years old.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I didn't know that last year when
Yeah.
Angie came on.
I thought I remembered. I think I remembered hearing her say that.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
That's
Since high
interesting.
school. Yeah. And she said Lisa always wanted to be the popular girl.
Yeah.
You can totally tell Heather
Heather
probably
Heather
could
wanted
not
Heather.
wait.
Sorry, Heather. That's what I meant.
Heather
Sorry,
probably could not wait for this fucking show to be filmed.
Yeah.
She must have been over the moon when this,
And I feel like now that she's on the Ozempic and she's lost the weight, I think like she might be like feeling herself like a little bit too much.
Yep. She wants to be the breakout. There's always one.
What about Brittany when she starts the prayer thing or whatever you want to call it with the opening hymn and they're all sitting there singing? I mean, were you all sitting there cringing like I was?
Yeah.
Oh, because they were singing.
Yeah, I was like, and she's there directing them with her.
Doing this.
With the hand, the hand was too much.
I was like,
oh. But I want to tell you something about her. She actually is a singer. So she did, you know that song on, I think it's with The Little Mermaid, that Part of Your World. You know that song?
Oh, yeah.
That's her.
Stop it.
Yes. So she
What?
recorded
In the movie?
Yeah, she recorded that, and then some other songs celebrate the magic of Disney. She was in Broadway, Miss Saigon.
Stop it.
Yes, she's
New
been
York
in,
Broadway, New York.
I don't know what Broadway. It said
'Cause
Broadway
really-
and it said Miss Saigon. She's been in 14 motion pictures, 46 commercials.
What's her last
Check
name?
out her IMBD.
Yes, she does.
Yes, she
What
does.
is it? Bateman?
Bateman. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll look her up.
She's currently recording a Christmas album that's set for release in 2024. She better hurry up if that's still going on. She's a real estate developer. She's co-founder and artistic director of a corporate party band called Groove Merchants, and she's the owner of Pure Productions, which is an entertainment production company. So she really can sing. Like if you
And
look her up
she's
online,
accomplished. She's accomplished.
very accomplished.
Why is she chasing these men? She doesn't need them.
Acting like a dum-dum. I don't understand. Yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you have to look her up. She's very accomplished.
I will definitely
I can't
look her
believe
up.
she sang that Little Mermaid song.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
Yeah, we find out a little bit about her father because he starts talking about his wife Katerina, his precious angel. And when she passed away, he cried every day for 2 weeks. And they dated for 6 days, then were engaged and got married, and were married 53 years. And that's what Brittany wants. She wants that fairy tale relationship, and she believes that he's out there for her.
I think that might be actually part of her problem, though.
I do too.
That she is looking for this because I'm sure her parents had issues. I mean, nobody can be married for that long without having issues. And if you
Totally
have this,
agree.
if you have this picture in your mind of what somebody's relationship is, and it's probably not all that accurate, then you're just setting yourself up for failure again and again and again. I think she has this fairy tale version of her parents' marriage, and it's something that she is aspiring to. And that's not necessarily, real marriage is hard. It's a lot of work, and it's messy, and it's not.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I think that we all have different experiences with it. And I don't think, listen, I'm not saying it's not work, but I don't think it's always messy. Because I will say that my parents were married for 60 years before my father passed. They made their 60th wedding anniversary. That is a long time. And I honestly, yeah, I'm sure they had hard times, but I never knew about it.
That's the thing. You never knew.
I never knew about it. So she probably never knew about it either. You know?
But now you're an adult. Now you're a grown woman. So you should be able to, you should have enough emotional maturity to discern that
Yeah, but
it's not a fairy tale.
But you can still get that, is what I'm saying. There can be somebody who is your person that you can spend the rest of your life with. Like that person does
Absolutely.
exist.
Yeah, then I'm not saying that it doesn't. I'm just saying it's not, even when each person finds a person, it's still not a fairy tale.
But I think it's just a
Right.
definition of the fairy tale, because I think the fairy tale can be that you spend your entire life together, not that there's no bumps
Right,
along
but
the way,
I'm saying I think her perception is
that there's no bumps along the
that
way.
there's no
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm trying to say.
I
Right.
agree. Yeah.
So Angie does let Lisa know that how she feels about her blind loyal Heather, how she feels about her and Heather's really answer to this whole thing is that she can be loyal to Lisa and Angie. Just because she's loyal to Lisa doesn't mean she can't be loyal to Angie. And I've said this before, but I really believe this. Like, if you are a friend to everyone, sometimes you're a friend to no one. And I will say this, bringing it back to Jersey. I just want to say that I feel like that's where Dolores falls in sometimes.
Totally agree.
Like, she never took a side. And I don't really feel like she was a good friend to anyone because of that.
Yeah, you can't always
Wow.
beat Switzerland.
I don't think she was a good friend to Margaret.
Well,
I think she blindly is loyal to Teresa. She's the definition of blind loyalty to
yeah.
Teresa. She
Yeah.
was not a very good friend to Margaret. She sat there when they were at that whatever that studio
Just sit down.
was. Yeah. And she heard she listened to Teresa say, "I want Jackie to bring Margaret down," and Dolores said nothing. That's when I lost it for Dolores.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know.
But
And
I
that's how
don't
I
think
feel.
Heather is this extreme.
But you know what, though? I feel like Heather's going down that path. Like, she wants to be the one that's going to be friends with everyone and be the Switzerland and be on both sides. Sometimes you have to pick a side. Sometimes you do.
Well, you have to be able to tell your friend when you think that they're not
Wrong.
Exactly, when they're wrong.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
Right.
You have to be able to tell your friends that.
You have to be able to say corkscrews.
You have to be able to yell a corkscrew once in a
You have to
while.
be able to yell corkscrew.
100%.
Angie even said to her, she said, "You're not holding, her to the same standard that you're holding me to." And that's completely true.
Yeah.
And Heather did apologize at that point. She said, "I'm sorry that, like, that's how you feel, but..."
Well, she did say she would take it into consideration,
Yes.
which I thought was very an adult way to handle it.
Yes.
But really, I thought that was one of the most, out of all the shows that I've seen so far, is with all this fighting in inappropriate public places. And an at-home fireside church meeting is so not the place for any kind of personal conversation like that. I just thought that was like really no.
Yeah.
I thought that was just not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The next thing we see is the car trying to park in front of the restaurant, and we don't know
were
whose
you
car it
waiting
is.
for a housewife to come out?
100%.
I was waiting for myself to get out of that car. That's what I was waiting for. I thought, look, there's me trying to parallel park. That's exactly what I
I
thought.
was waiting for it to pull out and go away. There wasn't going to make it, right? Like, I didn't. And then John gets out. I mean, they did John dirty.
They did him so dirty.
That was hard to watch. It was
expert parallel parker, by the way, and that's because Patty lived in Hoboken for like 5 years, and I would go up on a Friday night after work and spend the weekend with her and Mike, and I had to learn how to parallel park.
good to know.
Expert level.
I
And
said
that
my
was
husband is expert level.
That was before the backup camera.
100%. Listen, I was driving no, I didn't have my 83 Celica still. I had a 2-door Civic.
Yeah,
But-
that was before the backup cam,
Yeah, sure was.
which he
And my
had, by the
husband-
way. I'm just going to say that. He had the
Yeah, no,
backup
no.
cam.
Yeah, my husband
I mean,
has
that car
fit
should
into
have been parking
places-
itself.
Yeah,
That's what
my
I was
husband
thinking.
has fit into places that no human should be able to park into.
Yeah.
I will say my husband's the same way. So they get into the restaurant, and Justin comes in after John, and he sits down, and they talk about, like, it was awkward silence at first, and they talk about appetizers, and they order their appetizers, and they order the old fashioned together. And John
Worked
says,
out very good. Very
Yeah.
well.
yeah. John says, "Before we go any further, if you can hear me out, and I'll hear you out." And Justin says, then Justin starts talking. He starts talking. He just let him start, which I thought was interesting. He's like, "Well, when Lisa comes directly at me, I'm of course going to defend my wife." So he didn't even let John get out what he wanted to say, which I thought was,
Yeah.
So John said, well, you got really angry fast and then you took a step forward towards my wife. When he said that, I kind of looked back at it and I was like, yeah, actually, he was right. Like, when
He
you're
did.
watching it and you don't really see it from other
Yeah.
eyes, like we were just talking about it. So that's what he saw. So of course, that's why he's going to jump in that defensive mode. And then Justin's like, okay, well, I understand that. But now how did it happen the second time? Which I 100% agree with him. He's
Yeah,
like,
John just went up and grabbed his arm, and that wasn't
Yeah.
necessary in that
No.
moment.
No.
Right. And John apologized. He did. He apologized. He said, listen, it was just a snap reaction from earlier. I saw you were there close with, my wife, and I just wanted to separate you, which I was glad that he apologized. But then when he thought that Justin needed to apologize to his wife, Lisa, I was like,
It's never going to happen.
why would Justin need to apologize to Lisa?
No.
So I'm watching this whole thing and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is like a breath of fresh air. Like, if only the women could communicate like this. Like, I was like, oh, this would be so cool. And then I was thinking, well, then maybe there wouldn't be a show. But then I thought to myself, you know what? There would be a show because I would like to watch people communicating correctly. And then once he said that, I was just like, oh, okay.
There we go.
There goes that thought down the toilet.
And we're back.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that was out
yeah.
of line.
I liked how Justin handled it, though. I like how he said, like, yeah, no,
I'm going to have to think about it.
I'm going to have to think about that. And I will say this to people. If you don't know what to say and you don't like what someone said to you, you need to just say, I need to think about that. Like, that
Yeah.
needs to be your go-to instead of popping off.
Right.
Just give it a minute and say, you know what? I need to think about that. And then walk
I need
away.
to take that advice. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's great advice.
Yeah. So then after that, we see that Heather goes over to Bronwyn's house and Bronwyn gives her a brief tour. She lets her know that, no one's ever had the tour before. And we find out she has 6 dogs. I didn't realize she had
The
that
dog
many.
poop on the floor was concerning.
What is up with that? Like, so first of all, how do you have somebody come over your house like that? You have all this money, hire somebody to look after your dogs, take them out, clean up. And how do you let production put that in?
Wow. I'm sure she didn't even know it was happening. I'm sure production got the pictures of, the film of it. They recorded it. And then they got Heather. I'm sure they asked Heather in her confessional about it. I'm sure production set that whole thing up. And Bronwyn probably didn't even know what was happening until she watched the show back.
That's horrible. That's horrible. But I do love how Heather said that Mary's house was Whoville and that Bronwyn's house was Pound Puppy's Palace. That was great.
That was great.
That was
good
funny.
stuff.
That
Yep.
was, I completely agree. And I think it was totally disgusting that you would invite people into your home
Yeah,
with
that
dog poop and pee. It wasn't just poop.
No,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, it
No.
was concerning.
And when Heather said, like, maybe before you invite somebody over, you invite the pooper scoopers over to pick up. And that's 100% correct.
Not only that, you put this food out on a low table
With the
6
dog.
dogs, and then you leave it and take her around your house. And then she's trying to eat something. The dog's like trying to take it. Like, I have animals, but no,
No.
that doesn't go on.
No.
So then after that, Heather sits down and she says, I'm surprised you invited me because it doesn't seem like you like me very much. And then Bronwyn's like, well, it doesn't seem like you like me very much either. So she said that she was sorry. Bronwyn apologizes that, things went sideways, that she didn't want to get to know her that way. And she admits that when she heard her and Lisa talking about her and Angie talking about Lisa, wait, you and Lisa were talking about Angie. When she heard her and Lisa talking about Angie, she went back and told her, and that, that was messy of her.
She
owned it.
Accountability for
She
it.
absolutely took it. She totally owned it. And Heather's like, well, that's the definition of messy. Well, she's like, yeah, and you need
And
me to
I'm
own that.
apologizing for
Yeah,
it.
I'm owning it. If you need me to own that to move on, I'm owning it. I'm sorry. And she's like, I don't need you to do anything.
Yeah, Heather got very, very defensive.
She
Very
definitely did.
defensive.
She did. And then she went on to say, like, why did you even invite me here? And she's like, well, to be honest with you, it's because I'm planning this weekend, and I wanted us to be good together. And I didn't want to not invite you because then that would, we couldn't move forward. But I don't feel like we can invite you the way things are going now. And Heather's like, so what? You want me to come like sing for my invite? Like, I don't think that was the point.
No, she just
I
wanted
think
to be
she-
okay with you because you're staying in the same house. She's already not inviting Brittany.
Right. which I guess means Brittany is just a friend of, right? If you're not invited.
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, do they have something between them? I can't keep up.
Well, she doesn't.
No, they do. They do. Remember when they were at that table and Brittany was like, did you marry your husband for money?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess Heather's not going on the trip next week either.
I don't think she is because we don't see her in the
And she leaves.
upcoming, right? We don't see her.
Now, Bronwyn said something interesting in her confessional. She was like, you know, you have to love Lisa for exactly who she is because she's not going to change. And I think that's true.
Right. Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's not somebody that I don't think I could necessarily hang around with, but that's just because, I don't know. She's just not I don't think she's in my tribe. But she's right. It's like you know, and especially like this situation, if you're working with somebody, they are who they are. So you just kind of have to deal with it and don't think that someone's going to change, especially for somebody that I mean, these people are work relationships. They're not, they're not necessarily personal friend relationships. They might at one time move into that sphere, but to begin with, these are work relationships. So you really shouldn't expect somebody to change for you when it's not a personal experience.
I agree. And she also said something in her confessional at the end, and she said that she was giving Heather the best version of me, and that's not good enough for Heather. And that's something that's one of her biggest fears, is that the best version of herself isn't good enough for others. And I really kind of felt for her at that moment.
Yeah.
I did. I felt like she was really trying, even though I'm really not sure just yet how I feel about Bronwyn. I think I need to know a little bit more about her. But
Yeah.
at that moment, I was like, she's being real. She's being real.
But see, to me, you put that together with the costumes
Right.
going to the airport, and I start to be like, and all
She's
of
got some
her
insecurities.
Yeah, like I feel like she kind of puts on this show and dresses in these costumes / couture. It's like a deflection.
Right.
So, but I mean, I'm not judging her. That comes from her past trauma.
Right.
So, I think that's just it's just how she operates.
I agree with that. And I agree that, like you said, the costume / couture, because when she initially said I show up in costumes, I thought she meant her couture. But then when I saw the shark, I was like, oh, no, she means costumes.
She means Party City costume.
Right. Like, because I do think
Halloween.
Right. Her couture is over the top costuming. It really is.
Yes, very costuming.
And initially I was like, oh no, I'm here for it. But now I see it more like it's more of a cry for help, to be honest with you. And that makes it sad. It makes it sad. And I don't want to judge her, but I just what I see right now, I feel bad for her. I do.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
And then you couple that with the interaction that you see with her husband.
Right.
And then it just makes you just go, like what's really going on there?
Right. It's not warm and fuzzy. It's not,
Yeah.
So we shall see.
Yep. I would say anything else for Salt Lake, or we good?
Nope. Is done.
No, not for Salt Lake, but we should talk about the blind item that came out today.
Yes. Talk about it, Kat.
So, like last week, there was a blind item, which, by the way, it's very Gossip Girl, the blind items. It's very Gossip Girl, the way they word it. But anyway, it was alluding to the fact that an OC wife was headed for divorce. And we find out today that it's Teddy Mellencamp and Edwin, which is upsetting. I mean, it makes sense because she does live in the OC now, even though she was a Beverly Hills housewife. But I thought I liked them together. Yeah. And I wonder what happened. She has made comments in the past, I thought, intimating that he has been unfaithful in their marriage.
That was years ago, though, I thought, when she was on Beverly Hills. And I thought that they had moved past that.
Me too. So I hope that's not what happened. But who knows? Who knows? That's upsetting, though.
No, it is upsetting. Even if you're not a Teddy fan, and a lot of people are not Teddy fans, because she made the announcement herself today on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And I did see a lot of people saying, like, even though I'm not a fan of Teddy, nobody wants that for anybody. Nobody wants a divorce. Nobody wants to see a broken marriage. And I do feel bad for her. I do.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I like her anymore, though.
She doesn't bother me. I think it's because I can't stand Tamra so much. But even before this season with Tamra, I don't know. Teddy doesn't bother me that much. I didn't mind her on Beverly Hills. I do think just the fact that she's John Mellencamp's daughter gives her the right to be on the show. I didn't think she was boring.
I'm joking. She doesn't bother me either, to be quite honest with you. I just think she gets such a bad rap, and I 100% agree with you. I mean, the fact that she's on with Tamara, who has now like become like enemy number one for any Housewife fan. Like, it just, you know, you had said this like last week. I hope she's not going to bring down Teddy.
Yeah, like I was worried for the podcast.
Right. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. Bye.
Bye.